Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Jeannie and I'm so glad you stopped by today. So I'm here today to share another one of these, I don't really know what to call them. Cozy cottage. I feel like this morning I feel like homebody would be the cutest name for the homebody journals because I just wanted to put all the things that makes you, think of home in them. And I had actually started them back in January, and with the intent of it feeling like cozy when it was cold outside, and making them super eclectic and fun. And they've kind of formed, so these were heavily inspired by Johanna Clow. I'm not sure how you say her last name, but she's one of the first creators I ever watched many years ago, and I feel like most of us know who she is. If you don't, I will link her. I will link the video where she shares how to make the covers like this in the description box below. Some of you have messaged me and asked me for that link once I had shared some of the other ones, but I'll try to remember to put that below so you can find that video. But I just followed her tutorial that she had done at the beginning of the year. I think she was making like her own personal journal. But anyways, it was time consuming. It took a day. It took about 8 hours for me from start to finish for each one of these covers. And I know that sounds crazy. And yes, I would take a little break here and there, but by the end of the day, it was 8 hours approximately for each cover, because y'all know how I am about making decisions. But, just to decide what little piece goes here and piecing them all together and how they look right. It's just tons of different little trims and linens. I did use up little scraps of some of my favorite things that I've been holding on to. Some fun pieces that I had gotten in friend mail over the years that I just was keeping little pieces for special, those special projects. And then the linens, y'all know those are very hard to come by. I don't know if the video is up yet, but I did hit the linen jackpot a couple weeks ago now, and I did film a video showing. I was so thankful because I had used so many of my linens for this collection of journals, and there were certain colors I really didn't have much more of, but then I stumbled across some at an estate sale, and I was so excited to find those. So I will be happy to make some more of these. I may take a detour and do something else in between, but I will be making some more covers like this in different color schemes. But I do want y'all's opinion. I have this color. So I still have this one left. I haven't finalized it and glued this down and decided what goes right there, but I have these purple and blues, and I haven't dove into this one because the spine, y'all, this is so wonky, it just doesn't fit. Even if I did a hidden binding like I did in this one, it's just way too big. This would be like a $400 journal if I actually filled it up as big as this spine is. So I'm gonna have to do surgery on this one if I want to use it. I think I'm gonna have to cut one side off and maybe narrow it down, or I may just cut both sides off and just create a whole new spine. But anyways, I'm curious if any of you would be interested in a blue and purple themed one. Obviously inside I get a little more eclectic, but I still try to keep to the, the color. Like this one was super bright, super fun, and I could just be totally eclectic inside. Not to mention the person who actually reserved this one before I actually had finished up the inside. I know her personality. She loves the eclectic style journal, so I had a lot of fun with this one. Now this one, as of the time of this video, this one has not been reserved yet. I haven't really advertised it for sale yet because I've still got to bind it in. But I use this fun duck tablecloth inside here, and then all of the same type of pages. I've already stitched all of the trims and pockets and things on it. This will be like a baby sister version of this. This is about, it's a traveler's notebook size, but the spine is huge. So I love this little journal. I think this is called Sunbonnet Sue pattern, maybe. This was from an old pillowcase I had. But anyways, I will have this one posted over on Instagram, available either later today or tomorrow. I'm usually a month or two behind in posting my videos here on YouTube, but if this one will upload, I'm going to try to go ahead and post it today. So, this is, let's see, April 23rd, Wednesday. So if you see this on the 23rd, 24th, send me an email or message me over on Instagram if you're interested in purchasing this one. I should be, like I said, finishing it up today or tomorrow. And then, oh, and I will have all those links below. So I'm going to share the flip through of this one. This one is a super, super chunky journal. The spine, see, these expand so beautifully. The spine is approximately 3 inches wide. And this is about 9.5 inches tall by about 7.5 inches wide. Actually, saying that out loud, it's not the largest journal I've made, but it's a very large journal. So again, just use scraps and bits of my most favorite trims and textiles, and I filled this up, and I will do the other one the same with, I pulled out I have one little tub of, or bin, I guess you could say, with basket, however you want to word that, of vintage things. And why is that stuck? Oh, I have one little tub of vintage supplies like letters and, you know, papers and all the fun things from the 1800s, late 1800s, early 1900s, postcards, greeting cards. I used all of those things in here because I wanted this to be, okay, y'all, so I thought I wasn't recording, so I wanted to start this over. And, you know, honestly, I'm still not, okay, it is recording, but I had to stop it for a minute because I just wasn't sure, and like, I don't know why. Y'all, I'm literally laughing at myself today. So, anyways, all is well. I'm going to get back into this. I don't know where I left off at. I was having trouble opening it because I had glued it last night and then just shut it, and it kind of just wanted to stay closed. So anyways, it's great now. But before I ship this off to her, I think I am actually going to add like a little bit of trim right down through here, because I did the spine of this one a little different than I normally do. And I had the paper base, or the cardstock base rather, coming over a little further. If I didn't show this to y'all, y'all would have no idea probably what I'm talking about, but it's enough to bother me, so I'll fix it, you know. But I'll probably get a wider piece of trim, obviously, but I'll probably put something here and here to kind of finish this off. But anyways, this lays super flat no matter how you lay it, and this journal is packed full of stuff. And the recipient, she makes journals, and I'm pretty sure she makes journals, and I know she buys them quite often, so she'll know, you know, what you can do with it. But if you're new to journals and you purchase a journal, if I were you, I would go through and just take out all of the things, especially when I have little baggies of stuff filled in here and bulky things. Just take them all out, and your journal will just be super flat again, and then you can fill it up with, you know, things how you see fit. But this will come, since this is one of my larger journals, this will come with tons of fun bits of things for her to play with. Those are ready to go. So again, diving into this journal. So I used a paper pad from Hobby Lobby. This is one of my new favorite paper pads, y'all. If you've watched my recent flip throughs, I've talked about it, but it just has such a fun matte kind of embossed ish texture. It's kind of, it feels like vintage wallpaper is what it actually feels like. So I use sheets from that paper pad as well as, you know, a few others. I used just tons of all the vintage and modern fun books that we all like to use. Again, I kept it super eclectic inside. So I wanted to include a fun vintage button card, and I just attached it with a brad. And then stitched a little envelope here and filled it with some things that she can use. I had this fun dish towel I had purchased at an estate sale a few weeks back, and I kind of wanted to use this in my kitchen, but it was a tiny little, almost like a little tea towel, so I just decided to go ahead and cut it up and use it in the journals because it fit perfectly and it's so cute. Found this super old recipe. Well, I feel like it's been broken. It's probably half of a recipe. But don't we all love those old handwritten recipes with the stuff spilled on them? Again, just keeping it a cottage home, you know, kind of feel. This is from a book from the 1940s that I have, and it was just talking about the different types of tablecloths. And I did, with these journals that have older things in them and that they're, you know, at a higher price point, I have been including like an entire work basket catalog from somewhere between the 50s and 70s, and sometimes I'll include one of these little, I forget the name of this catalog, but it's a, I'm trying to see if I have it near me, but yeah, here it is. It's just little paper books. Some of them are colored, some of them are not. Oh, look, in a wedding journal, how beautiful that would be. Oh my goodness. I mean, this was 50 or 10 cents at one time. I feel like these were from the 40s. And then some of them from the 50s. But anyways, I like including, also like tore out a couple pages to put in the free pack. So again, super fun stuff to play with as well that isn't shown here. So this was some of the beautiful black bean dyed paper that my friend Arlene had over at Gingy's Journey had sold packs of. Oh, I love this. I'm about out now, and I wanted to use it in some beach journals, but maybe I need to get some more. So this was just from a, I think it was like a Betty Crocker cookbook binder. And I just hinged this one together, and then this one was from, I think it was like a handyman type book. But I hinged those two together. There are 5 signatures in here. And when I first started out, I only had like 5 or 6, maybe 6 pages per signature. And when I was going to bind it in, I was like, that's just not enough pages. I don't know what I was thinking. So I went in and added about 4 more pages per signature last minute. So I love, love, love how it turned out. So this is from just a Better Homes and Gardens cottage book. This is some, oh, I love how this feels. This was from just some sketch books. I'd gotten these in an estate sale. I'm not sure what you call them, just sketch books for like gazebos and bridges, I think. Real vintage wine label. Here's a fun sheet of paper and advertisement out of one of the work basket catalogs. Just some hand-dyed, like coffee-dyed paper, and I had put some lavender type iridescent ink in there. This is from a Lori Holt quilting book. Oh, I forgot the buttons, y'all. I put buttons on the center of every signature, and I forgot them on this one. So let me pull out a few, and I'll do that before I put this up. But I did leave these longer for her to cut off. I'll show you in a minute when I get to the button part, but So yeah, there are buttons in the center of each signature. I just thought the barn cat block from this quilting book would be so cute in a cottage journal. This I did not make. My friend Arlene had made in a journal and put in a journal she had gifted me, and I thought this was perfect to go in there. I just altered some time cards the other day using all these little, you know, little clear stickers we have, and the florals. I had watched Jessica at Paper Terrace make some little peekaboo pockets on time cards, and so this was kind of a spin-off from that. And then just put charms on the edge of here. This was some, like, I don't know, I guess it's not letterhead. I'm not sure what this is called, but anyways, it was some blue paper, but it's already folded 3 ways. And so I just left it like that and hinged it to like that other blue sheet of paper. And so this side, it just folds out like that. And I just did some stamping along the edges. And that would be fun to just clip down and then do some private journaling in there. Here's a super cute sticker from Temu. These little ladies cooking, retro type ladies. I thought those were so fitting to go in here. Just some more old ephemera. An old Spanish lint ad. I think that Arlene had also put this in something she made me, so I thought this would be cute in there. And I did leave all of the threads hanging in this journal. Now, I do not do that on every journal, but I love how it looked in these. And obviously, if she doesn't, you know, love that, she can just go through and clip them all off. But this was from a really fun vintage from the 50s flower book. I just thought this page was fun to go in here. I love this book, y'all, and I don't have a whole lot of pages left. I think I got this from Cooley Craft Corner in a little book purchase back last fall, and I love this book. I was trying to see if it was beside me, but it is. What Wildflower Is It is what this is called. I love this book. How the pages are so matte. And then I also used this book. And I don't have the cottage books beside me, but I used a granny chic book, and it was a Better Homes and Gardens cottage styled decoration book. This was a fun image out of a work basket catalog. Just an embossed policy envelope. Just put some fun things inside there. This was from a Reader's Digest songbook. Just put one of these fun labels here. This is from a gardening book. Another tag made by my friend Arlene. Eloise Wilkins book. From one of the big little golden books. So here's what I did. I just put the buttons, I just slid them on here, and I was scared they would be too bulky. So I just left them like this without tying them in a knot, because I thought if she wants to slide them off, and obviously I will tell her this. I will definitely make sure she knows this, because they either need to be tied on or just slipped off and used elsewhere. Just made a ruffle out of that little tea towel. Another fun bead. I had gotten these beautiful beads from my friend Lynette and some Happy Mail. If it wasn't for her, she sends me beads. If it wasn't for Lynette and Arlene sending me these handmade bead charms, I would never have them in my journals because that's just not something I'm ever probably going to sit and do. But I love having them. This was from just a little piece of stationery. I wanted some flowers throughout. Some more fun stationery. The other side of that wildflower book page. So I made a pocket here and just filled this bag up with several of these little flower cards. Just some bits and pieces that I thought would be fun for her to use either in this journal or maybe in a journal she's making. Love this page right here. This was from the Country Flowers of a Victorian Lady book. This was from it was like a reproduction of old ads. I think it's called Reminisce or something catalog. Another one of those fun stickers. I really enjoyed altering these vintage envelopes from the 50s into little floating pockets. I'm pretty sure I did either a YouTube Shorts or an Instagram Reel when I made these. These are just fun to me for friend mail. Even if you just send this filled up with stuff, I think that would be super cute. Ideals book page. And again, in her packet, I included more Ideals book pages and more of these like flower book pages. I thought the Calico Cat, this fit perfectly in this journal. Granny Chic book page. Some fun wallpaper. I included this vintage postcard. And then these really fun 1940s just receipts. I had ordered a little lot, I guess you would call it, from this dude, Charles Trail. I didn't order obviously from him, but this was many years ago. Like I think this was in 2020. I ordered this from Diane at Pretty Pink Cottage. She's always finding amazing stuff at flea markets and having it in her shop. And that's been forever ago, and I'm just now getting around to using those. But I felt like they went perfectly in here. Another one. And then just some fun stamped tags. Uh-oh, that one glued. I loved how that said the color of sunshine. I included this vintage photo of these ladies because, oh, how perfect. Y'all, if y'all watch me, you know, oh, wait, that's a postcard. I thought that was a photo. I used to not love these older photos unless they're, I'm still kind of picky. Like, I feel like they have to be super cute, like beachy or Easter Sunday or babies or wedding. But they're growing on me, and I feel like there's definitely a place for them. This journal is an example of that place. So I'm loving sharing some of those. Love this image right here. Summer coming up. Here's another page from that, the Country Flowers of a Victorian Lady. And here is some more fun vintage pieces that she can play with. There's a piece out of a little sewing pattern book. And to all of you who have reserved these journals before I've even finished them, oh, I'm so grateful. I mean, first and foremost, I'm thankful to the Lord for allowing me to do this and making money at it. That's the dream, right? But just am so thankful to those of you who have been asking for these, and I'm happy to make more of these if you know you have a specific request for a certain color, theme, or style. And I don't know if you're new here, but I do make custom journals. You know, if you just send me an email or send me a message over on Instagram, I'm always happy to make a journal for you. Here's a super old cabinet card. I think Arlene had sent me this in some friend mail as well. That's really old. And I'm curious if this cringes y'all to like see, especially when I messed up right there, like to see that. Would you have covered it up? I'm curious. I used to would have. Of course, I used to probably wouldn't have left all of these strings hanging, but I love how it looks. Here's a tiny little coffee cup charm. Is that not so cute? Another fun tag Arlene at Gingy's Journey had made. Oh, these are so pretty. It's embossed and it has like sewing pattern paper over book paper. So pretty. She sent me several of these with the little gold specks. Then this old postcard I had in my stash. There's another children's book page. It's just an old stamp that I had in my stash, like a really large, I mean, I guess it's a stamp. It looks like a stamp, but it is really big. This was from a child's or teacher's cooking little recipe book, depending on the season and stuff, and I thought this was so perfect to put in here. And this little fun coupon. Made some ruffles out of some fabric, and I meant, like, of course this ruffles out of fabric. Well, I guess you could, you know, I've made ruffles out of, oh my goodness, out of crepe paper and tissue paper and all the things, but obviously this is fabric on vellum. Granny Chic book page. Love this page. Just put a fun flower, handmade flower here. Some little flowers in the center. Another super old piece of ephemera. A vintage seed packet. Then I included a vintage card, and then another fun ad, and another little sewing page book. This is very, very fragile. I love these cards though to alter. I figured she could take it and cover this up, or maybe she wants to use it, you know, to write about her anniversary, but you can cut these up and use them all kinds of ways. I need to get me some more of those. I'm down to, I had found a couple boxes at an estate sale last year, and I mean, I still have a little handful, but you know, you only have like one of each kind, and once it's gone, it's gone. I just put napkin over music paper here and just made a sheet of paper out of it, and I just used a glue stick. I love how it feels when you just put a glue stick behind it, and I just love the texture. It's not sticky or anything, but it's perfect to use as a page. This looks like a pocket. It is not. This would be really cute to put a clear pocket over right here, actually. Another piece of ephemera from 1937. Another vintage seed packet. Old receipt. This is a vintage milk cap. I just made a charm out of it. Put this fun stationery in an envelope there. This is black bean dyed, like a glassine or vellum bag. I love how this sounds and feels, and I just glued this old receipt down over that. And then just put some little printable pieces and another one of those stamps. And then I had made a handful of these for Happy Mail, just out of this fun wildflower wallpaper my friend Joanne had sent me. And y'all, Joanne, she's over on Instagram too. She makes the most beautiful, if you love vintage, like legit vintage things, she makes beautiful journals. And I will link her Instagram below as well. But anyway, she had sent me some wallpaper a few years back, and I'm finally using it. These are some fun vintage tickets. And then I just put some of these little replica labels in here. And this just velcros down. Just a simple little envelope. This is from a giant coffee table book of flowers. And I love how it said Early Summer Skies. There's a vintage syrup label. Another Granny Chic book page. Avocado dyed paper. This little book is so fun. And this is talking about when company comes over, and look at Mama peeking her head behind the door, and the little girl. She's probably teaching her how to, you know, answer the door, I guess. Just some fun things in this pocket. And we are finally at the end. I haven't decided for sure how I want to close this up, but I will tie something around it and probably put like a vintage pin. I had some laying around. I know I'm going to put this little teapot one on here, but I'm going to try to find the perfect one to close this up with. I have this big daisy. That would be pretty. But anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. I know this took a minute. But I thank y'all so much, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.